You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift.
What is globalization? In the 20th century, the human race was confronted with such a natural phenomenon as globalization. Globalization can be defined as the process of concentration of power over all the mankind in one person or a small group. This process has been underway throughout the whole human history and is now near completion.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone.
Sadly, we live in a state of fear. Every day we hear of war on the news, on the radio, and television. In the newspapers, always of war.
And so they do die. 1 every 3 seconds. There they go. And another one. And to watch your kids die. To watch them die, and then to die yourself in trying to protect them. That's not right. And tomorrow, 8 of the men sitting around this table actually have the ability to sort this out by making a few great decisions. And if they don't, someday, someone else will. And they'll look back on us lot and say, people were actually dying in their millions unnecessarily in front of you, on your TV screens. What were you thinking? You knew what to do to stop it happening, and you didn't do those things. Shame on you.
But it was enough to force special elections, the Prime Minister replaced, and 2 protesters were voted into Parliament.
People in Iceland who have said no at the ballot box and on the streets.
You got it all.
Yeah.
Now you are a member of Parliament.
Yes, I am.
That's amazing. So from out here to in there.
Yeah.
Well, as a scientist, I've chosen to look at the facts. And the facts are simply this. It is a fact that you and I are living the end of a rare and mysterious cycle of time. A cycle that began 5,125 years ago in the biblical era, 3114 BC. And it is a fact that our cycle ends with the winter solstice on December 21st of the year 2012 AD. That's a fact. It is a fact that there have been at least 4 of these cycles in the past, possibly 5, depending on which indigenous tradition we're looking at. And each of these cycles is called one great world age. So it is a fact that you and I are now living the last years of the 5th great world age that humankind has known. It is also a fact that each time in the past, at the end of a great world age, the world changed. It is the position of Earth in space, our tilt, our wobble, our angle, our relationship to the sun in the center of our Milky Way galaxy that changes the conditions of life here on Earth.
Well, here's the proof, interplanetary climate change, which is NASA's hottest secret. Venus has had a 2,500% increase in this active oxygen, so the atmosphere of Venus is changing back into something that's breathable. Mars is growing clouds and ozone, as you can see right here. There were no clouds on Mars before. That's brand new.
I mean, this is all great, but how far do we want to go with it?
Everything in the universe is energy. Your body's energy. The room you're living in is energy. Everything you want is energy.
And that's not a new idea. Fuzzy-haired guy in 1925 wrote on his chalkboard, E equals mc squared. We couldn't grasp what that meant. What that says is on one side of the equation is mass and light and everything that we perceive, but it all equals energy.
Everything owes its existence solely and completely to sound. Sound is the factor which holds it together. Sound is the basis of form and shape. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God.
We use sand and lycopodium. The lycopodium moves to the center of the fields and takes up circular shapes. The sand forms the lines. Each material has its own special way of behaving. In vibrating glycerin, we see continuous waves which form the queerest figures. And yet, the extraordinary things we see here are simply and solely the effect of vibration.
We can create the same geometry when we project tones onto the surface of standing water, as Alexander Lauterwasser does with his water sound images. Perfect patterns, as though they were created by a compass, arise, which we can see not only in very complex crop circles, but also in nature's diversity.
The question comes up often as to whether or not we can actually measure human emotion. What scientists are now documenting is the effect of emotions upon the heart field. The human heart is now documented as the strongest generator of both electrical and magnetic fields in the body. Now, this is important because we've always been taught that the brain is where the action is. The brain has an electrical field, it does have a magnetic field, but they're relatively weak compared to the heart. The heart is about 100 times stronger electrically and up to 5,000 times stronger, 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain. And the reason this is important is because the physical world as we know it is made of those two fields of energy, electrical and magnetic fields of energy, electromagnetic fields. Our own physics books now tell us if we can change either the magnetic field of an atom or the electrical field of the atom, by doing that we literally change that atom. We change the stuff that our bodies in this world are made of. And it appears now that the human heart is designed to do both, to change both the electrical field and the magnetic field of our bodies and our world, and they do so in response to the emotions that we create between our heart and our brain. Now, what I want to say is that this is no ordinary time in the history of our planet. It's no ordinary time in the history of our lives, and that this can be no ordinary experience that you and I are undergoing right now. We need you, and we need your wisdom, we need your passion, we need your courage, because we're building a new world in the presence of a world that is collapsing because of its insustainability. The things that are falling apart are the things that are no longer sustainable in our lives. The economic system, the way that we create electricity on the planet, the way that we provide fuel for the people of this world. While those may have served us in the past, they're no longer sustainable. And that is what the change is all about. So please join me in understanding our past and understanding the possibilities of our future and understanding the new relationship that we're building with ourselves and with one another as we begin a brand new 6th world age.